Why men respond to distance and space. Hello, my name is Chengi and you, my precious one, are my world. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome and welcome again. You are more than welcome here. And do not forget to subscribe if you like the content, because my job here, young lady, is to teach you how to present as a high value, high worth, high status woman that men find completely irresistible. Can I get an amen? Okay. So here I am today to talk to you about the reality of why men don't respond to distance and space. Here's the thing about a woman, about us as women. When we fall for a guy, what we want to do is lean in. What we want to do is lurch forward. When we like him, we want to spend every minute and every hour and every second with him. And sometimes, especially that initial bonding level, they want to spend every minute, every second with us. And there's that chemistry and that energy going on. And then what we find is the closeness that you had, all of a sudden he seems to have moved away. He's still communicating, but he's moved away. Here's the reason why. As men, especially when they've been expanding and giving out a lot of emotional energy, remember, this is something that doesn't come very natural to them. It is not a natural space. That doesn't mean that they don't enjoy the feelings of euphoria, being in the company of an amazing woman like yourself, and all the chemistry that is going on in their head is intoxicating for them too. But like anything else, when you have an oversurge of emotional energy, a little bit like when we've been to work and we've been in our heads and working out complex things, and we've just been in that headspace for a while, sometimes we just want to shut down, watch a chick flick, do our nails, do our hair. We want to come away from that masculine energy and get back into our feminine energy. And in the same way, when a man's been in that emotional space, he's been in his feminine energy, and he wants some time to collect himself. And men, by and large, collect themselves by pulling away into themselves and getting busy with something else. So some of you would be like, oh, all of a sudden he's busy at work, but he had all the time in the world for me. And yes, it's at a point where he's beginning to think to himself, right, I need to regain my life again, because men don't like to feel out of control. And when they're in a deep emotional space, the thing they feel is that sense of free falling, and it is natural for them to want to regain some control. And it's at this point, ladies, that a lot of us begin to make the mistakes, because we then begin to lurch forward and become needy. Have I done anything to upset you? How are you this morning? How are you doing? We start to pursue. And at that point, he begins to feel suffocated. Like, oh my God, right? Now, is his behavior fair on you? Of course not, because you're up here and we don't simmer down, quickly. We take a while to simmer down. All we know is we're up here having the most amazing experience, and all of a sudden we're expected to be down there and okay with it. I completely understand that emotional place and space. And quite frankly, for myself and for my angels, if he completely pulls away like that and doesn't have time for you, then it is also possible that he's made up his mind that you're not the woman for him. Because I'll tell you what, even when a man pulls away like that, he will still have a good warm energy towards you, and he will explain what's going on, and he will find a way of saying, you know what, in the next few days I'm going to be really busy, so you won't hear from me. So he will preempt you because he cares about you. But if he just falls off grid, then chances are that is not a relationship that you want to pursue. But the way that you get the respect and the way that you get him to come back and come correct is to allow him to have the distance, is to allow him to have the space. This is the time where it is so important. Here's the thing. I used to have this issue a lot when I started dating, and for a few years I used to think, oh my God, you're killing me. But since I began to do the work and began to really focus on my purpose and begin to focus on my work and begin to take that which I had to do seriously in terms of my work, I realized that I didn't even have time to notice when there was a pull away, and that I was so called in and so drawn into what I had to do, that especially when I started my business, that I wouldn't even notice that I haven't even heard from this person And, you know, I can have work days that start from 8 a.m. in the morning till 3 a.m. midnight. You know, I can have those sort of work days because I manage a lot of brands, I have a lot of clients, I have a lot of initiatives and ideas that I want to bring into the world. I'm writing a book. There's so much that is going on with me that I don't even notice. And this is why this dynamic helps. Now, I don't want you to get extreme like myself, but when you are in purpose, you will find that you don't have time to be figuring out how come Johnny hasn't called and why is he pulling away. Because in truth, I always say to my clients, how is it possible that you had a whole 4 days to spend with your man? What is it that's not going on in your life? You know, when I was dating, I didn't have a whole 4 days. You know, a guy couldn't come and spend a whole 4 days in my life and in my space because I didn't have that kind of time to commit to that kind of level of closeness. And as a result, unbeknown unto me, I was always somebody who he had to pursue because the time that I did have would be 2-3 hours once a week to do something. So it was valuable. And even if it was like, I'd love to come and spend a whole day with you, I just didn't have a whole day. Or it would be like, sure, I'll try and cover that day maybe in the next 2-3 weeks because my day's already covered. And that communicates to a man that this is a woman that I have to fight for. This is a woman that I have to work for. And when you create that space and that distance naturally without playing games, because trust me, if you have nothing better to do and you do the whole distancing thing, he will intuitively pick up in his psychology that you are into game playing. And once a man picks up the fact that you're into game playing and the only reason you're not responding to his text messages or his messages at all is because you got some little game that you're playing, he will lose attraction for you. So this is why it's really important, ladies, for you to come into a place in your heads and in your hearts where you are aligned with your purpose, where you are even in pursuit of such a thing called purpose, other than making getting a man the only thing that you are doing with your life. Okay, so if you want more details on how to unlock your destiny and discover your purpose, I'm going to be doing a series on High Value Girls Pray in my Facebook group. I have done, so you'll see some recordings. I'm going to be working through for the next few months through that series. Also, we're going to be going through my book, Position for I Do, How God Delivers Mr. Right When You Live with Power and Purpose, and that is an international best-selling book. And I'm going to be going through it with the girls on both Chengi's Angels on Facebook and High Value Girls Pray. We're going to be exploring that book and talking about the place of purpose within the life of a dating woman who is high value, high status, and high worth. Okay, can I get an amen? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helps and that you will be comfortable to give a man space and distance and see the magic that happens when you do that. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. In the meantime, take care of you. Love you lots. Mwah.